How's it going, everyone? Nick Templin here from Templin Scouting, and today we're going to be talking about defenseman prospect Chase Reid playing for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. So, in my prospect rankings, he's currently my sixth rated prospect overall, second defenseman and second right-handed defenseman, both behind Keaton Verhoff on both of those accounts. And Yeah, so for a lot of people, he is actually their number one defenseman on their board, and we'll kind of get into some of the differences in their style of play. I'm also thinking that an interesting video for the future here might be taking a shift by shift breakdown from both of the players and kind of comparing them side to side. To kind of reflect some of the differences, but some of my early thoughts before I kind of break down too much on them is just that I prefer the defensive game of Keaton Fairhoff and the simplicity of the way that he plays the offensive zone. I think that he doesn't try to make the overcomplicated plays, but he makes some pretty difficult plays look really easy. I think with Chase Reid, we're going to see he's this really strong playmaker, a guy who walks the point really well, is going to be a definite power play quarterback at the next level. But I do think there's going to be some question marks in some other areas. So we'll kind of watch and see what those are. Um, yeah, and the other thing I do want to mention is that for a lot of the most recent mock drafts since the lottery, a lot of people do have San Jose taking a defenseman at second overall, and for a lot of people that is Chase Reid. I do think that's a bit of an interesting discussion, but for me, there's no question that a guy like McKenna or Stenberg should be going second overall, regardless of positional need. I just think the gap between them and everyone else's prospects is just so massive in this draft that you can't get caught up thinking too much about the fact that San Jose, who undoubtedly do need a defenseman, really can't afford to pass up on one of those guys. I know they have a lot of really solid forward prospects, but I think if you're looking at Stenberg, like he would probably be the second overall pick. He would be much better than any of the current left wing players that they currently have in their system. Um, and I'm a big fan of Eklund as well, but I think he would step in and be better than Eklund pretty quickly. Like he definitely has a higher ceiling for sure. And then you look at some of the other prospects like Chernyshov, who looks really good, and Quentin Musty, who I'm a big fan of, who should make a name for him and stuff. Like those become kind of more leverage players in a potential trade, and so you kind of have to look at the trade market, see what young right-handed defensemen might be available out there. One name I'll throw around, and I don't know, how legitimate this is at this point, but I know Brent Clark made some comments about, not being all that happy with the responsibilities that he has currently in LA. That being said, I think if he's patient and waits for a couple of years, and once Doughty kind of moves on or regresses over the next little bit, you should see, Brent Clark start to get more of a role in LA. Also, would be a little bit surprising to see, LA trade within the division like that, but I think that could potentially be a name to keep an eye on. Or if you want to look for a more veteran guy, I know Dougie Hamilton's name was floated around a little bit with San Jose in last year's offseason. He, at the time, declined to go there. It sounded like a trade was pretty close at that point. I think that having seen the direction of New Jersey this year and the direction of San Jose this past season, that could potentially change the mind of Dougie Hamilton a little bit, but we'll kind of see what happens with all that. But That's all kind of discourse for another video. Let's go into talking about Chase Reid here. Like I said, very offensively focused, and we're going to be taking a look at some of his highlights here. So there he is, kind of joining the rush there. Not exactly the most highly skilled goal there, but getting himself into a good position there to retrieve a rebound. So you can kind of see him right here making the cut around the defender here. Really weak defending on this play too. I mean, you got two guys here that are both kind of caught puck watching here with the guy with the puck on the stick. Rebound pops out. It's a really poor rebound by the goaltender, and he's able to just kind of pop it in with a fairly weak shot onto the net there. The goalkeeper's just not able to get across for it, but good positioning for him on that play. Good keep in at the line there, or I guess it was a pass back to him, and he's just able to kind of Now, this is going to be one of the real strengths that you're going to see from him in his game is the way that he handles the puck along the blue line. I love the active edges of him moving back and forth here because as a defender coming in to attack him, he has to either take away the shooting lane or the passing lane here, and by being really like on his edges like this, you'll see him kind of wiggle back and forth. It kind of opens up either opportunity for him to either make a good pass across for the one timer or send a puck on net, depending on what the defender gives him. And in this play, he actually kind of closes off the shot a little bit, happens to just get it through in this occasion. But I think he also identifies that there's another player there able to kind of assist at the point there. So it is, I think, ultimately a good decision just because he is able to actually get the shot through. Obviously, it'd be a different story if he was one of those guys who was frequently shooting pucks into the feet. Then it would be like probably just dump that back into the corner. But happens to make a good play there. It's deflected on rebound there, and his teammate's able to finish it off. But once again, you kind of see like the little hesitation to the middle there, or the kind of fake out there, does open up just enough of a lane for him to get a shot through. And I really like it when defensemen utilize that low shot to the net through traffic. Now, there's not a lot of traffic on this play. It just happens to kind of work out a little bit that a guy is able to work his way out and get a deflection on. If anything, it's Eliason kind of caught in no man's land there that creates the most of a screen out of anything there. So in this play, we're looking at a two-man advantage. So this will be kind of a good opportunity to watch him operate as a power play quarterback. You see he's working the top of the circle here. He's just throwing the puck down low. Puck comes back to him at the top of the circle, gets it across to the other guy on the other side of the circle that's there, and he's just able to rip a shot there. So not a whole lot projectable to evaluate with a play like that, but just kind of good to see him kind of in the simple moments to make sure that he kind of is able to make those plays. Here he is walking the top of the circles here. I believe that's him at least. He's able to just walk right in. I think he throws that one off the bar, and the rebound goes in. I think this is actually the same power play, just on that after the two-man advantage ends, and then he's able to help record a goal on the second advantage there. Um, just a good play there. Just kind of show him utilizing the space that's given to him. Kind of doesn't look great from this is North Bay, I think, but in alternate jerseys, they're kind of playing this one man advantage like a two man advantage. It's like they didn't get the memo that they were just scored on and guy came out of the box because they're collapsing way too low and giving him too much space. But again, you can never fault a guy for taking the space that's given to him. So puck's going to come to him along the wall there. Good little find across, but again, like not much defending going on there, and he doesn't take too much time to kind of look at other options. Now that being said, you can kind of see his head's looking straight at the net there, so he's kind of pulling guys away from the open defender or open attacker here. This defender, though, he just kind of has to wait him out just enough to wait for him to activate to the point here. That being said, at the NHL level, this guy is never going to do that. When if he is able to evaluate that both of his guys are down low here, he is going to prioritize taking away the middle of the ice pass rather than taking away the guy at the point because this guy's always the biggest threat. Good on Reid for kind of noticing that, but I will say that like this is not the most projectable play at the next level because this guy should never be that open. And to be honest with you, not the best pass even. So let's kind of take a look at that too. I kind of thought that in real time, but looking at it on the replay too, like it ends up fairly in the wheelhouse, and he's able to get enough of it, but it doesn't come with a lot of speed here. It's kind of a soft pass that he has to wait on, which again at the NHL level like makes it relatively easy to shoot it, but it should have given this defender all day to get out there, and it should have given the goaltender so much time to react getting across, and neither guy is really able to make the play that they're supposed to make there. So as much as that might look like a really nice play on paper, I think that that's just a play that just you kind of have to wash from the film, looking at him as a prospect because I don't really see that as a projectable play. Again, you can never fault a guy for taking the space that's given to them, but it's just kind of one of those examples how some of these situations in the OHL aren't as comparable to what like Keaton Verhoff was facing at the NCAA level. Puck comes to him, top of the circle. He's able to walk into the slot and get a nice shot off, finish it off there. Another good play to show how he can activate from the point and how he can be utilized. You would maybe like to see him a little bit more dynamic coming through the zone here, kind of for the kind of player that he is. But it is a really good shot. He's able to draw a couple of defenders towards him and then get a shot through traffic that beats the goaltender. That is a bit more of a projectable play. Just would like to see his edges maybe a little bit more active there. Good little pass through the middle as he identifies Saginaw going for a change there. He's able to find his guy through the middle of the zone and hit him on a breakaway there. So good breakout pass. Kind of comes a little bit from a defender just making a mistake there, jumping up and kind of whiffing on the puck, but still good to see a defender who's able to make a pass like that. This is a good projectable play from him here, where he's leading a rush there and does a good job of shooting for a rebound here. Like, this is not a shot to score by any means. He gets his head up, he sees his guy driving to the net, and he's able to fire a low puck, hits the blocker there. So maybe you want to get it a little bit lower and make sure it gets off the pad, but it ends up working out. Good little toe drag there on the rebound through the middle. Good time to evaluate that it's a good time to activate, and he's able to pull it around a defender and just create a better scoring chance for himself. So I like that play a lot. And there's another play where he just gets the puck and he's able to walk into the top of the circle, activate, and create a better shot for himself. So that's something that he does really well. Makes him a definite threat whenever he's in the offensive zone with the puck. Yeah, again, very similar play. He's just able to, make a very soft reception on a good pass there, walk into a good scoring spot on the ice, and just rip a nice wrist shot through traffic. And you'll see, like, he does a really good job of keeping his pucks low through traffic. Like, that is probably the most projectable thing as an offensive defenseman you can do at the next level. You're not going to be ripping a lot of shots, top shelf from the point. Again, just kind of the same thing. So you can kind of see where he generates a lot of his offense is just receiving that puck in a good position from further back on the point, creating a little bit of space and just walking in with a shot. Now on the scouting report, you might be able to kind of counteract that at the next level a little bit, but I do still think that he'll be able to maintain that kind of style of play in the offensive zone. Good puck thrown on net there. Never a bad play to throw it at the puck with a guy driving. And once again, you're kind of seeing his ability to jump in on the rush and create. That's nice to see. A little one time action there and on a 5-on-3. Again, keeps it low, which is exactly what, like it. This is a really good shot because it's not he's not just hitting it as hard as he can. He's really placing it, and as a defenseman, that's kind of become the way of scoring now. It's just put the puck in a spot where the goalie's not going to see it through traffic. Once again, joining the rush there, comes in and good physical play there in the corner to win that puck and get it to the middle there. Really like his ability to do that on that play. That's more of what I want to see from him. That'll be really projectable to make him a threat at the next level. You see him kind of just make one little hesitation move, like he goes backhand, like he's going inside, and then he creates a little bit of space on the outside, and then still keeps that shot relatively low. And is able to kind of get it right in between the glove and the pad. Just creates a little bit more space for himself and a little bit of an extra screen on the goalie. So that's him like really showing his good instincts there on the offensive side of the puck. Getting and then this one just getting into another good scoring opportunity, high slot, and just ripping a high shot there. That's the opportunity when you can let the high shot go is when the goalie's in position to make a save, and you just want to beat him with a quick high release there. Good job joining the rush there and a good finish. Obviously, the things that are going to separate him and Verhoff the most are the plays on the defensive end. So we'll have to do a bit of a deeper dive into that in a different video because what you can see from this, and there's a much higher volume of offense here, and that's always going to be the case when you're comparing a college freshman to a draft eligible year OHL player. And obviously, you don't want to use that against him at all because talent is talent regardless of where it is. But I think there's this like lovely simplicity to the game of Verhoff that makes it more projectable as a one defenseman. Because if the offense isn't coming from Verhoff, you don't feel bad putting him out there for 28 minutes a night. I think, and I don't want to necessarily say that I worry too much about Chase Reid's defensive game because I really don't, and I want to take some more time to evaluate it a little bit better before I comment on it too much. Like I've definitely watched it, and I think he's a good positional guy and a good stick in the lane guy. Handles his physicality fairly well. I just don't think he's like quite the puck winner in puck battles and stuff that Verhoff is, and I think Verhoff is the better like breakout artist, which is one of the big things I look for in a defenseman that you're going to have playing top minutes for you. But again, I do want to kind of reevaluate some of these things with Reid, especially after seeing some of these higher rankings that some people are giving him. Like it's making me kind of think maybe I need to give this guy another look. But you know, still talking about him, he's still like a very highly rated prospect for me as well. Like you can see there's that's a really good release. It's a good steal along the boards, and it's a good job of just kind of creating his own offense there without too much assistance. Joins the rush, good short side shot there. Kind of a break in on a power play there actually, and I actually like that play a lot because you'll see a lot at the NHL level. Like teams struggle so much to create offense off of the break in on the power play. They do these very like conservative style break ins where the guy will jump into the zone like that, but then they've got to curl back because the lane to the net is kind of taken away, and the short side shot is kind of all they give you on that. It's nice to see somebody kind of scoring on a play like that. Obviously, it might not be the most projectable thing to the next level because an NHL goalie is probably going to take away that angle, and defenders not going to give you probably as much space as what is given here by looks like Oshawa. Um, so it kind of there's definitely pros and but also kind of notes to kind of take from plays like this where it's like that might work at the next level, but I'm not convinced it'll be the most predictable play. But what I do like is just the instinct to jump up in the rush, create possession on a power play break in, and then at the next level, kind of teaching him to potentially just double back and create something else. There's a good job off the face off to just get into a good spot for a pass across and just rip one to the back of the net. Like if you're going to talk about which defenseman is going to score more goals at the next level, it would probably, well, undoubtedly be Reid because I think I like his ability to shoot from the point a lot more than I like Verhoff's. I think Verhoff has the better vision with passing, but that's a really good example of what Reid can do there. He kind of draws some guys to him, creates an open lane, and gets a nice pass across. Puck comes back to him there. Just good little job of getting it on net. I don't know that he was necessarily trying to score there. That looked almost more like he's looking for a deflection or just get a shot through traffic there, but happens to be the goaltender. Um, Again, just good to keep those shots low from the point, and that's what he does. Here he is in World Juniors here. It's usually a good sign when a Canadian or an American prospect is able to make the World Junior team in their draft eligible season. Good little shot 5 hole there through traffic. think he gets the dump in here, or is he the first one on the puck? Yeah, he actually ends up first one on the puck on the forecheck there and sends it out into the slot. Hagens, it looks like, gets the first touch on it and is able to put it. I mean, that's just an unbelievable play by. Oh, I guess it was Hagens that finished it. So who makes the pass here? I'm just curious. Stiga, it looks like. So really good touch pass by Stiga to kind of create something out of that. And that's him just throwing it on net and another chance created because of that. Oh, actually, he was not throwing that on net. That was a really good pass to take another look at because he gets his head up. Look at that. Activates. Not much of a lane here, but he knows that the shot from the point here, not a great play because there's no traffic. There's one defender with him. So he just turns, tries to fire it through. It does hit a stick, but it is passed hard enough that it just happens to get through to. I don't think the original guy that he was anticipating passing it to, because I think he was trying to get it to the other guy, but it ends up in a good spot. So I think that it's just a good play to get that puck into a different position rather than just firing it on net, because likely would have just killed the play and created an offense's zone face off. Um, good patience on that one to create something else. Um, Good job just getting the puck through traffic when goalie's down and out there and sticking with the play. The original pass on this, pretty nice as well, if we can go back to that. Because let's just try and get right to the beginning of that play. I just want to see what he sees here. So, yeah, it's another one of those situations where as soon as you see that attacking forward drawn up this way, just enough to try and cut this passing lane off, you got to get your head up and see if the cross ice is there. Again, like this defender, it looks like it's hard to tell if he's out of position here because he probably should be down low. But the issue is that the U.S. has pushed up high like this, so there's only one guy down low to cover. This guy's being covered by the forward. So this guy really should have stayed out wider. Probably this guy should have been the one making the play on the point. So kind of it's a good job by Reid to just get his head up and evaluate what's there and get a pass cross ice to the best scoring opportunity on the ice. So ends up getting kicked out. Another great save, but then the rebound pops out to him and he's able to finish the play off. I'm assuming he was the on the second unit because I think Cole Hudson was there, right? So he would have been running the first unit for the states. Leading the rush here, goes out wide. That's a nice move, and then what a finish there! What a shot! That was really impressive stuff right there. Like that looked a little Carlson esque from the early days. Like he just comes in, he fakes like he's opening up for a pass in the middle, goes to the back skating, and then he opens up multiple passing options, which this guy's got to push forward and cover these two guys, but this guy doesn't stick with Reid and tries to take away the passing lanes. As soon as he sees him plant his skates in the ice and reach like this, he knows he's got him beat because it's just a quick pivot back to the front edges, and then that opens up one on one with the goaltender. Goalie gets a little bit of out of position here. It's kind of amazing to think that from this frame, like the puck ends up right here. But he just goes a little bit wider, pulls the goalie down just a bit more with him. He's able to pop the puck right up into the top corner there. Really good shot. I mean, that's the type of play that you just can't make without an incredible amount of skill. Good job to pull some defenders towards him there and create a bit of a 2-on-1 opportunity that kind of results in more of a breakaway. Really poor defending, though, worth kind of pointing out. There's no reason for 77 here to get drawn in towards Chase Reid. He's covered by the defender here. There's a defender on the back check. Maybe a miscommunication between him and what looks like 66 here, where he thinks 66 is coming back harder on the back check, but you're in position there. Like, there's no excuse for being pulled over that far. But again, you can't fault Reid for taking what's given to him. And It's not an easy pass to make. 177 has committed over here. There's not much of a lane, but I think it's the right in between these two guys here. He's able to slide it through. Or even maybe went through 77's legs to get there. So really good pass to be able to execute on that play. But again, like at the next level, that play is just not going to open up like that. Nice little play, maybe kind of fortunate bounce, but it's a good job to just get to that puck first before the defender gets on him. Does get lucky with the deflection there because it does look like he was probably trying to shoot that on net. But even if that is what he's trying to do, I like that play. Just don't overthink a situation like that where you're kind of in a 50-50 race for the puck there. Just do what you can to kind of keep the puck in the zone, and that was a good pinch there, and got lucky that it resulted in a good scoring chance as well and a goal. So it's a good first pass there to create what was kind of the optimal scoring opportunity. He sees his forward kind of press off from the defender a little bit to kind of has to stay in position because if he goes out to the guy waiting for the pass there, and Reid decides to take this puck wide for his around his defense partner, who's kind of almost about to slide here. Like Reid has him beat pretty easily, so this guy has to stay here in case he has to come out and attack Reid on the swing around. So he creates, or he sees that the space has been created. It's not a great pass because it ends up on the backhand here, so it's not in his wheelhouse to shoot. He has to take a second to kind of reload it. But it's good for Reid to kind of stay with the play here because, like I said before, this guy's kind of making himself down and out of it by going down to into kind of a blocking position. So Reid's able to get to the net fairly uncontested. And his teammate's able to get a little bit of a shot off that just happens to pop out to him as a rebound. Really good opportunity or a time for him to drive that net and just pop that one home. So this time he's getting actually into a bit of a different position on the 5-on-3 opportunity here. Like his teammate here is now kind of in the position that we've seen him in for most of this video. So he gets into a different opportunity here to receive a pass. So he gets it here. Just it does say it's a goal here, but just kind of looking at this, he's got his head up. There's an opportunity back door here. He is kind of keeping that in mind here. There are a couple of sticks in the lane, so it would be a bit of a tricky pass, but I think that he is talented enough to make that play. But he just drives in a little bit more, pulls the goalie off the post, just takes the space that's given to him and finishes it off. So I do like that play as well. Obviously, the pass there is a bit more of a tricky one to make. I think that what we're seeing is he's definitely a bit more of a skilled shooter than he is a passer when it comes to the offensive zone. Sometimes that doesn't always work out for these prospects. Like I do think that like a top end prospect is able to make that play across, but obviously, end of the day, it doesn't matter if the puck ends up in the back of the net. I do think there's a little bit of room for growth in terms of his ability to make those tape to tape passes in dangerous situations, but let's see what he's able to pull off kind of here. So just looking at this situation, his head's up the whole way. My guess is the best play here is the kind of shot for deflection here into the high slot here with this guy right here. Probably wouldn't go down low here in this situation, just with the position of this defender. It would have to be a pretty soft pass right onto the tape. If it pops off even a little bit, this guy's able to push him off. This defender is able to slide into position, cover the guy in front. But I do think like if you're able to make that pass, guy could quickly pull back, pull it in front. There might be an opportunity there, but really, I would say this is probably the best opportunity here. So let's see what he does. Okay, so I mean, I don't mind that play either. I think that you know potentially that is a play in the next level that could work, but I think it is also a play that could potentially kill the offensive opportunity. I think he shoots short side here, so he gets a little bit lucky that the rebound pops back out to his guy in front, but he does use the guy in front as a screen, so it is a bit of a tricky play for the goaltender to make, and then pops out softly to the guy in front who's able to just kind of bury it. Um, Obviously, it's never a bad idea to just throw a puck on net, but I do think that right here, as soon as this opens up, you can look for a potential opportunity to just do that little shot tip deflection thing at the next level. So something to kind of maybe work on with him. Okay, this is a shot from the point here. Does it get through traffic? Yeah, just deflection. I think of the kind of mid to high spot there beats the goalie. Definitely one of those skills that is very projectable at the next level is just that ability to throw a shot through for a deflection. I will say that in this highlight video, I haven't seen a lot of plays like that, so maybe something to kind of work on with him more at the next level as well to make him a better offensive defenseman. A lot of assists at the next level come from your ability to just find that shot for deflection. But again, he does it exactly the way you would want to him to there. So like you definitely know that he has it in his arsenal. Good little one timer there. Gets down to a knee, and that one goes high and just beats the goalie. Didn't see it the whole way through. Good finish there from the top of the slot. Like you're definitely seeing he's definitely a guy who can dominate on the power play. You're seeing that he can jump up in the rush occasionally. I think there's definitely room to grow here, which I think is a good thing with him. Like I think that you're not necessarily seeing a guy who is ready to walk into an NHL room next season. Um, you might be able to see him there by the 27-28 season. Because there's a lot of skill there. Like to see some more of the physicality once we look at kind of the individual shift stuff. Drives hard to the net there. I guess his assist came earlier in the play there, but good job of him to create an option here once he sees the rush start to kind of break down. Um, yeah, so he kind of breaks it out there after making a pretty good defensive play on the retrieval, and then creates an opportunity on the pass the goalie has to respect, and puck just ends up getting past him. And then kind of similar to one we saw before where he activates, but this time the pass isn't as good, so he is able to control it and just kind of slide it back door. And he just gets through traffic and goes in. I like the clutch there, and it's a really great skill to be able to get a shot through block. Just creates an extra kind of deceptive measure to shooting from the point. So yeah, a lot to like about Chase Reid's game. I think that for him to be better than Verhoff long term, I think there's still a lot of development to go with him. But there's a lot of traits to like there. His ability to activate from the point is really compelling. I think that there are some skating traits that definitely could be worked on to make him a more dynamic guy, walking the point and making some difficult plays and identifying what the best play on a given scenario is. Like I think that he has the ability to be a pretty quick scanner when it comes to puck on his stick, puck off his stick. But I do think that there's definitely room to grow there. So definitely a prospect to keep an eye on over the next little while. And I don't think his range for where he could go is all that deep. Like I think that he will certainly be either the first defenseman or second defenseman off the board, depending on whether a team feels they want more of the project with him, or if they want the very safe, sure thing with Keaton Verhoff. That'll kind of be the discussion for the next little bit. And I did notice somebody did request specifically Chase Reid in one of the recent videos. So thank you for your comment. It just so happened that he was one of the next guys kind of on the list for me, anyways. But please do make sure to comment some more names down below because I really do want to get to some of the more in depth names in this draft. and some of the guys that I maybe haven't had as many viewings on, so that we can almost kind of react to him kind of more live rather than me coming in with kind of these ideas of what this player is already. So definitely make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that you can see the rest of these videos as they come out.